Hi, I'm Becca and I'm the Youth and Schools Worker at Corshalton Beaches Baptist Church. And I know it's a little bit early, but I thought this week we could start talking about Christmas and the lead up to Christmas. And a part of that is this whole season that we celebrate in the church called Advent. Okay, since cinemas are closed at the moment and we're in lockdown, I've had to resort to watching film trailers on YouTube. And I've definitely ended up down a rabbit hole of watching trailers for a ridiculous number of Hallmark Christmas movies, and boy, there is a lot of them. And I guess I really like trailers because I kind of like to know what I'm expecting when I go in to see a film. And I think I like trailers because I get a bit of a sneak peek about what's going to happen. And if there's a film coming out that's got an actor, an actress, or a specific director that I'm really interested in, I like watching the trailers to be able to get excited about the fact that this film is going to come out and I'll be able to see it in the cinema. But as a Christian, for me, when I watch a film trailer, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Old Testament. You see, all throughout the Old Testament, we get glimpses of this person who's going to be the Messiah, the Saviour of God's people, of the whole world. We don't quite meet him yet, but we get hints at what he's going to be like. Just like you get hints at what a film might be like when you watch a trailer. And this period of Advent and the church calendar as we lead up to Christmas is about waiting and preparing and getting ready for the coming Messiah, for Christmas. The thing about certain trailers though is I've definitely gone into a film before, having seen the trailer, kind of thinking I know what to expect, kind of thinking, oh, I know what the plot will be, they've basically given it away already. But I don't think Christmas is like that. You see, the Jewish people, God's people, the Israelites, they had these expectations of what this Messiah, this Saviour would be like. They were told he was going to be a king. So I guess they must have thought a king with a crown made of like gold, living in a palace. And they were told that this Saviour would like reclaim the land that God had given them. So they probably were thinking of some sort of military hero riding in on a giant horse with an army behind them. They're imagining the saviour of the world. Sure, they would be born into some political family who knew exactly what they were doing. And yet Jesus, the saviour, the Messiah, the one who's gonna reclaim the world, to make the world God's kingdom, he didn't have a crown made of gold. In fact, when he was born, he was put in a manger. And he didn't arrive on this massive horse with a massive army behind him, but he arrived as a baby. And he wasn't born into some political powerhouse family that had all the connections in the world, but he's born to the family where Joseph was a carpenter and Mary was just a young girl who was engaged. None of this was what God's people were necessarily expecting. And yet what's great, just like any good film that I see in the cinema, is that it blows those expectations out of the water. It's a bit like a really good plot twist, where it's not like the whole movie before the plot twist doesn't make any sense, but where it's like, I now see how all of those elements slot together to make something even better than I could have pictured happening. And that's why I love Christmas. Because God blows our expectations out of the water, and yet he still brings hope and joy and peace and fullness into our lives, just like he told us he would. The whole story of Christmas is about God being with us, blowing our expectations out of the water and doing something new. And as we face Christmas 2020, as it's probably going to look different to how we would maybe want to celebrate Christmas, we can still know that even if our expectations aren't met or things look different to how we want them to be, that God is still able to bring that joy and that hope and that peace and salvation, because we can still celebrate how amazing the birth of Jesus was. As you eat your Advent chocolate in the next week, please be reminded of that. Please be encouraged by that. And I'll see you soon. Bye!